Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before Daniel Jones is done as a New York Giants quarterback. He had a nice stretch of games after that first game where we saw him have probably his worst game as a starter. And the offensive line is starting to break down. And we're starting to see a lot of the old things pop back up. No turnovers, so solid. But the ineffectiveness is difficult to miss here. So we're going to go through the game. We're not going to show every throw, but we're going to show a good amount of throws. And we're just going to talk about what we see here. This first play, decent read. You got Malik Neighbors in your top slot here. And Daniel Jones is going to get eyes on Malik Neighbors, make a nice throw, let him get in stride. And this is the first play of the game. And we're thinking, okay, Daniel Jones and Malik Neighbors are back. Now, they weren't able to connect on much after this, but this is a nice start off to the game. So I'm not the biggest fan of what we see here. Let's take it forward just a little bit more. You're going to see Malik Neighbors and Darius Slayton. They're your two wide receivers. Look how many Eagles we got in coverage. Look how many DBs are out here. You got your slot corner in there. This is not a heavy formation for the Eagles, and the Giants are in a heavy formation. You got two tight ends. You're giving Azudu some help here. I think this may be three tight ends, actually. Three tight ends. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 guys up there, so you got two tight ends here. You got your running back here, and you got your 2 wide receivers. So essentially, Darius Slayton is just running a deep over. He runs right into coverage. And then Malik Neighbors is just running an end route. And you're basically occupying most of the same part of the field. If this is man coverage, maybe this gets open, but you have so many guys in coverage here for the Eagles that it just becomes way too easy. And then on top of that, you're running a play action. You're hoping that you can get some of these linebackers to come up. But just take a look at the linebackers here. Take a look at the linebackers. They take some steps forward, and I would like this play to have Darius Slayton kind of cutting in here. Maybe Malik Neighbors takes a deep post and Slayton does a little crosser here because you pulled the linebackers up. You pulled the linebackers up, but the route concept is strange to me because Malik Neighbors just kind of rounded out this route a little bit too much. If he makes a sharper cut, he's probably open. So that may be what happened here. Because if Malik Neighbors makes a sharper cut here, he's probably open. But essentially, Daniel Jones throws this, and Darius Slayton is just able to get a hand in there. But not a bad read from Daniel Jones. From what he had to look at, that he pretty much has a guy pressuring him, and he's got a guy behind him. Not a bad read right there. And the fact that he got the ball to the receiver, and it had to be knocked away, not a bad throw. All right, so when I say we're going to watch it, we're going to watch it. We're not going to cherry pick plays to make Daniel Jones look bad, make Daniel Jones look good. We're simply going to go through this game. So essentially, what you have here is maybe his only option is Malik Neighbors on this drag route here. But what you're going to get is instant pressure. You're going to get instant pressure on this play, and there's not much for Daniel Jones to do. You're going to get instant pressure. Take a look when he gets this ball, gets to the bottom of his drop. Before he even gets to the bottom of his drop, as you see, maybe he can hit Malik Neighbors right here, but that's sort of risky. The ball could get popped up. You also got this linebacker sitting on it, this linebacker sitting on it. Everybody's kind of sitting there. Maybe you can get this to the running back, but this isn't Madden. He's not going to turn around and hit this running back. So Malik Neighbors is the only option here, but let's fast forward a split second, and he's getting sacked. So not necessarily a play that you can say, oh, Daniel Jones messed this play up. Because if you take a look at things, I mean, this guy's coming down. This linebacker is coming down to lay a hit on Malik Neighbors, and who knows what happens there. The ball could get popped up in the air. No one's really open but the backside running back, and he's not checking there. So maybe you say Daniel Jones should have checked for that. But guess what? Look, this is how quickly he was sacked. Let's say 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and he's sacked. So I mean, a quick quarterback throw is maybe 1.9 seconds, 2.2 seconds. He was getting the ball. He had no opportunity to get the ball out to anybody but his first read, which was Malik Neighbors. All right, so I'm not sure if they just ran the play that they were going to run either way, or if this is just their play design for something that they run when there's an offsides. But essentially, you get a go ball, kind of like not a go ball, but a slot go, because it's not really a slot fade. You're going to get that from Wandale Robinson of all people. And then with Malik Neighbors, you're going to get a comeback here. So I'm thinking that they would want Malik Neighbors to be here. And this is just their default Hail Mary, or not Hail Mary, but offsides play. But nonetheless, I just don't like it. Because you also have Darius Slayton over here, who's one-on-one and kind of gets a little bit of separation. So Daniel Jones is going to see that this guy jumps off sides, and he's going to launch it. And take a look at the bottom of your screen. Darius Slayton has one guy on him, one guy in the vicinity, and Daniel Jones tries to squeeze it in the traffic to the shortest guy on the field. Shortest guy on the field, I mean, he stands no chance. Did you think that he was going to be able to stop and jump for that? He just stood no chance, and he didn't really have an opportunity even if he was taller. But the fact that you throw it to the shortest guy downfield that stands the least available to go up and grab something out of the air, I just don't understand it. And some people are saying, you're being too critical. This is an offside. You just got to throw it up. But I feel like you should try to capitalize, especially when you're struggling this much offensively. You should try to capitalize on what you can whenever you can. So I want you to take that shot to Darius Slayton on the other side. Malik Neighbors is pretty much running a shorter route. They're on top of Malik Neighbors pretty much, so he's not going to be able to get anything done. But Darius Slayton is all by himself, him and one other person. Let Darius Slayton try to go up and snatch this out of the air, and you might have a 40, 50-yard play. But instead, we throw it to Wandale, and nothing good is coming out of that. So right here, this is another good play by Daniel Jones. They're going to run a boot here, and you're going to watch Bellinger leak out. You're going to watch, I think Slayton this is here, kind of running out route. You're just trying to just get guys on different levels of the field. You're trying to give Daniel Jones multiple options. I think this guy actually comes in to block. I think he stays in the block. But essentially, you're trying to give Daniel Jones a couple of options on this rollout. So stop it here. You got Malik Neighbors coming across the screen. He's pretty much covered. You got Bellinger currently on the ground. And Daniel Jones is able to buy enough time to throw it back across his body. And that's a nice NFL throw that moves the chains. I'm pretty sure this moved the chains, if I remember right. Came close to. But anyway, you get Bellinger. And that's a nice throw from Daniel Jones. All right, this next play I just wanted to show just because I wanted to show you all the Daniel Jones stiff arm. This was fun for me to watch. Daniel Jones takes off, and look at Eric Gray just backpedaling. He's just backpedaling. And I'm like, man, at some point, like, try to block the guy. Try to block the DB that's behind you. Try to put hands on him, and maybe your quarterback can get upfield. Maybe your quarterback is able to take this lane and get upfield and make a bigger play. But he just is backpedaling, and he tries to shield him off. And Daniel Jones is probably upset about that, and he gives Cooper DeJean a huge stiff arm. And that was hilarious to me, like how he just threw this guy on the ground like that. All right, so now we're gonna get to some of the things that he didn't do so well. I think I've shown maybe a little bit, but we're gonna be taking a better look at some of these. And Daniel Jones right here, he's under pressure, and he has two checkdowns. He has two safety valves, but he doesn't go to the check down. You have to have that internal clock that Philly started to send that pressure. They were sending 5 guys. A lot of times they were just sending 4, but the check downs were open all day. The check downs, and when I say the check downs, I mean guys in the flats here, guys, just hanging around this area, just to get them to be a little less aggressive. Guys were open there. And on a couple of these sacks, he could have hit the check down. Now, he decided not to. It looks like he was trying to work this down at the bottom of your screen to, I think, Darius Slayton, who was covered. But he looks at Slayton at the last second, and he ends up getting sacked. So he's under pressure here, 4-man rush or 5-man rush, it looks like. And you have to know, listen right here, I got to get to the check down. This ball should be going top of your screen, or he should be trying to see if he can get open here. And I want to see him just turn around. Theo Johnson has got to turn around here and just look at the quarterback, because your quarterback is you don't see anybody in your vicinity, and you're not running a wheel route. So there's no point in you sticking your head down and trying to get upfield. Just turn around and look at your quarterback, and you got yourself a nice little screen kind of play. And you got a head full of steam. You're heading at a guy that your quarterback just stiff armed a couple plays ago. So I want Theo Johnson to turn around and look at the quarterback. But nonetheless, Daniel Jones has two options here for the check down, and he's throwing it here. It could go to the man in the middle, Wan'Dale Robinson here. Could go there. This is kind of covered here. You don't want this guy breaking here. You don't want this guy getting a hand on it here. So I would want him to take the check down here or the check down here. Just kind of know that internal clock to say, I'm under pressure. The play just started. I've got to look at my safety valves. So this ends up being a sack. So these are the routine plays that we get from Daniel Jones that we're like, make the routine throw. Make the routine throw. This concept is to get Malik Neighbors open. No point in paying attention to anybody else. They run this perfectly. Malik Neighbors is wide open on the drag, and Daniel Jones doesn't pull the trigger. Take a look. Hit him right there. He's your number one receiver. He's your guy. Get him the football. Let Malik Neighbors catch this ball in stride. Let him make something happen after the catch. But instead, we're holding on to the ball. I don't get it. I don't get it. And you're taking a hit and you're checking it down when you got your number one wide receiver, the guy you took 6 overall, running across the field, the guy who led the league in receptions, the guy who was at the top of the league in yardage before he went out. Top of the league in touchdowns, I think he was when he went out. And you're not hitting him. He's right there. Throw the ball. All right, so this next play, it's just no chance. No chance of success. No chance of success at all. He's just going to drop back, play action, and there's nothing you're doing there. There's nothing you're doing there. Unless you just make the guy miss, which he tried to, but you got another guy coming too. I mean, John Michael Schmitz gets completely obliterated right here. You got your left guard, Runyon, getting obliterated there. Absolutely no excuse there. Absolutely no excuse that you got 2 free runners here. 2 free runners here at the quarterback. So something that I noticed is that Daniel Jones isn't necessarily a natural thrower of the football. And it really messes with him. It really affects his ability to make a lot of these throws because he's not able to throw off balance. He's not able to really throw unless he's able to stop and set his feet, especially going left and throwing back right. He's got to just set his feet. Take the time, set your feet, and throw that ball. I just don't think he has the ability to make this throw how he tried to make it. So take a look at Josh Ezeudu. We talked about him. We talked about how bad he played, and he should not be a left tackle in the NFL on any team. But he's playing it for us. Ezeudu actually does a great job of running him all the way around the quarterback, running him 10 yards downfield behind the quarterback. So he does a good job here. Daniel Jones is able to step up. He's able to step up here in the pocket. Reset right there. Because as you see, he tries to set his feet. He tries to, and he's trying to run, throw it on the run, but he's not able to make this throw. I don't think Daniel Jones can make this throw. I don't think he physically can do it. His feet are pointed outside. He tries to kind of fix it. But if you take a look, if I were to draw a line, and this is going to be horrible, but if I were to draw a line, this is where the line is going. Darius Slayton is fast enough. He's going to have to catch this about here. So this is where this line is going. And let's just see where things stay on the screen. That line is right around where Slayton is right now, and that's where the ball goes. A little bit further than that, but you all get the point. He's not able to set his feet, and reverse flip his shoulders. And because of that, this ball is behind him. Now, this is a play I wanted to see on the All-22 when this came out, because I was like, maybe it was like a thing where he thought Slayton was going to sit or something like that. But no, this is the design. Slayton is wide open. This is a chunk play. that we just didn't get because he's not able to set his feet and he's not able to make an off balance accurate throw. And shout out to Malik Neighbors. He's like, you got a guy wide open right there. Malik Neighbors is pointing right at Slay. That's hilarious to me. All right, so on this play, Daniel Jones is going to go ahead and take the check down. And this is one of the times where he took the check down where I felt like he could have pushed the ball a little bit further downfield or at least thrown the ball to Malik Neighbors. So right there, we get what, like a 2-3 yard gain? About a 3 yard gain, 4 yard gain right there. And essentially, we're going to just run through this right here and just stop it here. Malik Neighbors is open. So, some people are going to say he's got 2 linebackers there. Fine. He's got 2 linebackers there. Is he going to make both of them miss? We'll never know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I want to get the ball in Malik Neighbors' hands in motion as much as I possibly can. And I think that's what these plays are designed for, but we just don't get Malik Neighbors the ball here. So he doesn't get the ball. Take a look at the top of your screen. Darius Slayton on Darius Slay slips behind him in his cover 2. There is a hole shot right here for Daniel Jones. Some people can say, listen, Diggy, you don't know football. This safety is a Madden safety. He's Ed Reed, and he's going to swoop over the top, and he's going to intercept this. Listen, if Daniel Jones places this football right here on the sideline, if he places this on the outside shoulder of Darius Slayton, make it to where only he can catch that safety is not going to be able to go through him to make that interception. Now, if he places it all the way over here, of course, the ball's in play. He's probably going to pick that off. But place it on that outside shoulder, let Slayton be able to shield that guy off and catch that football, or even just throw a back shoulder here. Throw a back shoulder there. But this is a lot of space in the NFL. I don't care what you say. We're not going to get guys lit into believing that this isn't a lot of space. So you got a space here. You got your number 1 guy right in front of your face. You can't tell me he doesn't see Malik Neighbors. And guess what? You also got your tight end here. You got your tight end here. And I'm going to let this play a little bit. This is actually Wandale, I think, maybe. But you got your tight end here. You got Wandale here. And we'll let this play a little bit more just so you can see what happens, develops in the middle of the field here. This becomes kind of difficult because you got a lot of guys in the same area of the field right here. But essentially, Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton is open still. And he just throws the check down. I mean, look at the safety. The safety is so convinced that there's no way he's going to take a deep shot. There's no way he's going to take a deep shot. Look how the safety is flat-footed. He's flat-footed. Take a look at him. He's flat-footed because he thinks there's no way that Daniel Jones is going to try to test me deep. So you got options. You have to take advantage of them. You got to take advantage of these plays when they arise. When you get protection, you got to take advantage. And that's the difference between average quarterback play who needs a bunch of support and quarterback play that can really get the bus moving. So this is a play I initially blamed on Daniel Jones, but trying to take a look at it, I'm not sure what the call was. I'm not sure if Malik Neighbors has the freedom to turn some of these goals into double moves, but it kind of looks like Daniel Jones expected Malik Neighbors to accelerate quicker than he did. And I think Malik Neighbors was expecting a jump ball to just kind of be on his back shoulder. So it looks more like a miscommunication than anything. Nonetheless, they can't connect here. So no part of this is good. But take a look at Malik Neighbors at the bottom of the screen. DJ is going to see it. He's going to throw it. Now he's clearly covered. And if I'm Malik Neighbors, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking the same thing he's end up thinking is, if he's throwing this here, this is probably going to be some type of a back shoulder because you got a safety over the top. The corner is over top of me, and the linebacker is trailing. I got space here on the backside. If DJ throws this ball over here, anywhere over here on this shoulder, or even on this shoulder, if he throws this behind the receiver on purpose, which is essentially what a back shoulder throw is, this is going to be a completion, and this is going to be a chunk play. But this ends up getting overthrown a little. Almost a dot to the cornerback. Luckily, he can't catch. But this is sort of a miscommunication. So you can put this on DJ. You can put this on Malik. Who knows what the original call was. But if I'm Malik Neighbors, I'm thinking that this is going to be a back shoulder too. And I'm kind of slowing down. So you got Malik at the top of your screen. He's just going to run a comeback route here. Just a quick stop route here. He's going to run. Daniel Jones is going to hit him. Nice play. Nothing wrong with it. But again, you just got to look at the details here. This is a timing route. you got to trust your wide receiver one. He does a beautiful job of getting outside and really selling that fade route. Take a look here. Like Slay is scared out of his mind, and there's no safety help. Oh man, if this could have been a touchdown. This could have been a touchdown because Slay would have gotten beat here for a touchdown. There's no safety help if this is a go ball. You know, we're cooking with hot grease because he's got some protection. And he can throw this here if this is a go ball towards the end zone. And that's just sad. That's just sad because that's 7 points we could have had. But essentially, he's going to run this stop route. And I want this football getting here as he's turning around. I don't want him seeing that he's got the separation and then throwing it. That's what Daniel Jones does a lot of. He sees that they got the separation, sees this right here, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to throw it. And it just gives Malik Nabers just that extra step, that extra split second to be a little bit more decisive. This linebacker is going to be a little bit later with coming to help out. You know, he's able to really break this tackle from Slay a second earlier, half a second earlier, and that could be the difference between a touchdown and yak and no yak. So nitpicky, but necessary because this ball, if this gets there a little bit quicker, I think we might have a bigger play because Malik Nabers doesn't initially go down by Darius Slay. So this play, Wan'Dale Robinson, we got a drop. We got good defense also, but a drop from Wan'Dale Robinson. And we got kind of a stare down from Daniel Jones on this 3rd and 3. And this is what happens. Now, I know a lot of teams throw to the sticks on 3rd down, definitely. But Daniel Jones specifically is throwing to the sticks or behind the sticks on 3rd down. And because teams know that, take a look at the linebackers. Take a look at the defense. They're all sitting there. They're all sitting there. And Daniel Jones this entire time is staring at Wan'Dale Robinson. So this allows the guy to close on that ball. And we get a 3rd down that we can't convert because he stared. Was it stared? I think he stared Wan'Dale Robinson down this entire play. He's like, okay, when Wan'Dale gets open, I'm going to throw it there. And I think that's just the difference. Like, I think if he gives a glance to the middle of the field at that tight end, make that linebacker or make this corner Slay, take a look at Theo Johnson, just hesitate. I think Wan'Dale probably has a split second more to make this catch. So as we see here, Daniel Jones is not to be blamed for the majority of this game. He got some sacks. He had some play design issues. I think they could have run the ball a little bit better. It was a couple of things, but Daniel Jones definitely didn't help the Giants win this game. He definitely didn't give them a fighting chance. And we saw he left a lot of meat on the bone. They went down 28-3. I think he could have probably had this team at 20 points. I think he could have had them at least 14 points. But he left a lot on the bone. And that's unfortunate. This is what Daniel Jones has been doing his entire career as a Giant besides his rookie year. And it's only a matter of time before the guy gets replaced. If you want to look at how Malik Nabers looked in his first game back, stay tuned for tomorrow's video.